Hey guys, before we get started in today's video, I would just like to remind you about today's sponsor, JK Gaming 2002 on eBay. Go there and check them out for all your video game needs. They sell stuff for the new systems and for the old. Everything you want for your retro gaming needs, check out JK Gaming 2002 on eBay. It's a simple shop that's run by a husband and wife that are just trying to get by in this crazy world. So please check them out and tell them Timothy Tim PSP sent you. All right, let's get on with today's video. Rated F for fucking awesome.
Spiderman does whatever a spider can. Spins a web any size, catches seeds just like flies. Look out, here comes the Spider-Man. Is he strong? Listen, bud, he's got radioactive blood. Can he swing from a thread? Take a look overhead. Hey there goes the Spider-Man. In the chill of night, at the scene of a crime, like a streak of light, he arrives just in time. Spider-Man, Spider-Man, friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. Wealth and fame, he's ignored. Action is his reward to him. Life is a great big bang up. Wherever there's a hang up, you'll find the Spider-Man.
Hey guys, how's it going? It's me, Timothy Tim PSP, and I'm very excited to bring you this Spiderman PSP. So welcome back, true believers, new subscribers. Happy to see you here. Drop a comment down below, and I will be happy to reply. I usually reply to everyone that leaves a comment, except for the trolls, because as we know, you just can't feed the trolls. I'm very excited today to bring you this PSP. I actually did a Spiderman PSP in the past, and I was happy with the way it came out. This is a couple of years ago. And problem being was that after I got it shipped up, finished, shipped out, sent away after I had filmed the video, well, I realized one very important thing, that with a great theme comes great responsibility. And I forgot to turn the microphone on, and so the whole video was recorded without any audio. So today, I bring you this Spiderman PSP. The one I did in the past was, I think it was 64 gigs on a PSP 2000, and I was happy with the way it came out, but I'm always trying to step up my game. And so I set to do the ultimate Spiderman PSP, in my opinion. 128 gig, red PSP 3K by me, Timothy Tim PSP. Let's take a look at the case here. You see the glossy spider logo with the Spider-Man's eyes on the back. This is a layered decal. And yeah, so I don't want to make you wait any longer. Let's get this PSP opened up. And maybe I'll throw up a picture of the one I did in the past. If I can find a picture of it, you'll see it now. If I couldn't find it, then you're just seeing my hand. Here it is, the one and only Spiderman PSP 3000. Growing up as a kid, Spider-Man was always my favorite superhero. That and the Incredible Hulk. I always identified with Peter Parker. He just seemed real to me, based on a real kid with real problems. And that was always very appealing to me. So we're doing a PSP 3000. We've got the blue buttons, and you see the Spider logo here in blue, matching with the buttons. I really felt like the blue kind of offset the red and everything with the red buttons, the red home row. And if you can get a look here, the screen is brand new. There's not a scratch on it. I'm trying to let the light pick that up. There we go. But I think the main attraction has to be the back. Check that out. This is the spider web on the back. I tried to make it look and appear as if it was all connected to the silver ring on the back of the PSP, as if the spider web was etched into the back. This is multiple coats of polyurethane with a slightly satin coat put on the top to try to stop from fingerprints showing up. I feel like it did really good in that aspect. You're not seeing any fingerprints, and also makes the PSP not cling to your hands as much. So I'm really happy with how that came out. I did some multiple wallpapers for this PSP because I wasn't sure exactly what I wanted to do, how I wanted it to look. This is one of the wallpapers I came up with. I'll show you the other ones. Let me turn the lights down here. There we go. That's better. Maybe I got the brightness hack on here. Here we go. That looks a little bit better. You can get a better look at the screen and my camera there. Okay. Let's go ahead and go through. See, now with the brightness turned down, it's harder for me to see the screen. It's hard to find a PSP 3000 in good condition. I looked. I've actually been looking for a very long time. This is a theme that I've wanted to do this way for a very long time. And I ended up actually ordering this PSP from Japan. And if you take a look at the menu, you'll notice it has like the one seg connector option, which was something in Japan so that you could watch TV on your PSP. I really wish we had that here. That would be pretty cool. All right, so this is one of the other wallpapers that I made. Tribute to Amazing Fantasy 15, first appearance of Spider-Man. I felt like that should have a home here on this PSP. And then here's the Amazing Spider-Man wallpaper that I ended up going with to have that be the main wallpaper, kind of continuing the web on the back. And then we've got this one. And it was hard for me to decide. I think when you're making a theme, obviously I put a lot of thought into stuff like this. When you're making a theme, you don't want the wallpaper to be too intense, too busy, so that it takes away from the icons. Although just looking at it like this, I do like the look of the PSP with this wallpaper, but I ended up going with that one just because I think it's more conducive to actually being able to play. So, all right, enough of that obsession. Okay, now, like I said, this is 128 gigs. And I tried to go with just all my favorite PSP and PS1 games. Obviously, a lot of stuff fits under 128 gigs. This PSP is overclocked and also is using the memory card speed up hack. We've got the brightness hack on the screen, and everything's loading very nicely. I tried to do a focus on fighting games on this PSP. I felt like that made sense. So if you take a look here, the PlayStation 1, the first folder is just a collection of PSP fighting games. So obviously we're doing Marvel Superheroes, Marvel versus Street Fighter, Marvel versus Capcom, Capcom versus SNK. Not everything's Marvel. X-Men versus Street Fighter. And we also have the PlayStation 1 Street Fighter collection. So that's multiple discs for each of these, the 1 and 2 collection. Then the Street Fighter EX series and Street Fighter EX 2. We have Street Fighter Alpha 2, Street Fighter Alpha, and then even Street Fighter the movie, the video game. Honestly, the fighting games don't take up that much space on here. So even though it's not the funnest game, I still think it belongs on a PSP that's meant for fighting games. So you've also got Soul Blade on here, Bloody Roar, fun game. And then I think we've got, Primal Rage is on here. And then Tekken 2 and Tekken 3. Also taking a look at Darkstalkers on here, another fun fighting game, Mortal Kombat 4. Obviously, Mortal Kombat and the other Mortal Kombat series, those games are available in the old school folder. Even Masters of Terrakasi. Not the best Star Wars fighting game, but the only Star Wars fighting game that I know of. No, they did come out with that one on the PlayStation 2. I can't remember what that one's called. But, as much as people shit on this game for not being good, I actually had a lot of fun playing it. And it's a fighting game, PSP. And then also I threw in X-Men Children of the Atom, just because I wanted it to be in with the other like Marvel and X-Men games. Ready to Rumble Boxing. We've got UFC Ultimate Fighter. And then I decided that I'd go ahead and throw on some wrestling games in the, tradition of Spider-Man and getting his first start in a wrestling match, depending upon which comic you wave a flag for, which iteration of Spider-Man. So we've got SmackDown. And then we round everything off here with Simpsons Wrestling. But if you've seen any of my other PSP videos, then you know that this PSP has so much more to offer. From all the games you get with the old school folder, from Nintendo to, I always like that playing. I put a lot of love into all of my PSPs, starting with these menus from the 8-bit Nintendo. I'm trying to turn the sound down. Each one of these menus has its own special little sound effects and stuff, from the Nintendo to the Famicom. Special menus I've made, like Nintendo World Championships and Game Boy, Super Nintendo, Game Boy Color, a tribute to the angry video game nerd, and Game Boy Advance stuff too. Nintendo 64, you all know Nintendo 64 doesn't run that great on here, but Super Mario 64 is fun to play on a PSP. All the Sega systems from Master System to the Sega Genesis, the Game Gear, and the Sega CD, or multiple games on there. Most of these systems have a complete set. The TurboGrafx 16 to the Atari systems. Personally gone through over the years, and it has been years that I've been working on the PSP to get these emulators running as nicely as possible to really give you the best experience. Even old systems like the Magnavox Odyssey are functional. Maybe they're not so fun, but I think it's worth a lesson in video games to check them out. Neo Geo Pocket to the Wonder Swan, arcade games, Neo Geo arcade systems, Capcom Play System. You'll find more Street Fighter games in there. And then, of course, the Midway Arcade. All my menus are custom. Time and care has been put into everything. So you've got the old school, then you've got old school hacks. If you don't know what that is, that's new versions of old games that hackers have painstakingly gone through, replaced the graphics and everything. Most of you guys already know about this. And let's see, we've got, so our PlayStation 1 folder, we've got 1, 2, 3, and 4. Then we've got PSP games. You're going to see Marvel's Ultimate Alliance, as well as Crazy Taxi, the Crash Bandicoot games, Castlevania, Burnout. We've also got Assassin's Creed and all the God of War games. This PSP is just loaded 2, 3, 4 game folders, and then the mega folder holding the complete PSP Minis collection. This PSP, quite honestly, has it all. Guys, thanks for checking out the video. Thanks for showing up. If it wasn't for the attention I get on this channel, if it wasn't for that, well, I really wouldn't be able to do things like this Spiderman PSP, to come up with an idea and make it come to light. So my thanks to you guys for just being here, for just watching. I do truly appreciate it. This PSP will be for sale very shortly. Maybe I would just recommend that if you see this video, check the link in the description for the eBay auction. And then also, check out the sponsors. You'll see them in the links. Thanks again, guys, for checking out the video. And hey, if maybe Spider-Man isn't your thing, doesn't have to be. If it isn't, go ahead and send me an email at timothytimpc@yahoo.com, or you can check out the Facebook page, Timothy Tim PSP on Facebook. You can come to my page, we can chat, and you can tell me, maybe you have a custom idea, or maybe you just want to see what I'm working on. I do regular updates on that page. Got a Zelda PSP that I'm very excited about. Yes, I know I've done them before, but this one, like the Spider-Man PSP, will be my ultimate Zelda build. I'm using a green 3000. It's very close to being done. I hope that it will be my next video. Also got purple Spyro coming out, doing that D-pad mod on a Batman PSP. And then, of course, Assassin's Creed, which is long overdue. Assassin's Creed Bloodlines will get its own PSP as well. Thanks again for checking out the video. I'll see you guys next time. And game on!
Game on!
Yeah, game on.